right now, do you think this whole situation with Elon buying Twitter, are you guys optimistic about what's going to happen with the Twitter valuation? Are you kind of like, yeah, it's not something we're interested in? How are you viewing what Elon's doing with Twitter?
I'm not an investor in the company, so I can give you that perspective without being an investor. I think he paid a high price. In other words, what happened is he bought the company agreed to buy the company, and the tech transition occurred and the tech valuations went down. So he paid probably 25% more than the company was really worth. And he knew that. But he thought he could turn around because he's an engineering marvel and so forth. He then made some changes, and now as CEO, that have really taken away a lot of the customers, a lot of the advertisers.
Yeah.
I think the company cannot service its debt normally. It takes about $1 billion a year to service the debt of the debt that he borrowed. He borrowed about, I think, $11 billion. It takes about $1 billion a year to service that debt. They're not earning $1 billion a year. So what's going to happen? He'll either have to subsidize it and pay it out of his own proceeds. He could take the company bankrupt. The problem with taking the company bankrupt is this. In the end, the senior debt will own the company. So he will have lost a lot of money.
The $11 billion.
Yes, $11 billion would own the company, but remember, he could go buy that $11 billion at a discount. The banks are carrying that debt at about 80 cents on the dollar. He could probably buy it at 70 cents on the dollar.
Got it.
So he buys the debt. He then owns the company. He could bankrupt the company. He then owns the company because all the equity is wiped out. Of course, his friends are in the equity, and he's in the equity. So it's a big loss either way. There's no easy way out of this, in my view, other than kind of getting the revenue back up again. It's a tough slog, and I don't envy him trying to run this company. Remember, he's also running two other companies.
That's right. That's right.
It's tough to run one company at a time. He's running two other big companies, and both of those are pretty successful.
Billion companies.
Yeah, the story that came out saying the third largest Tesla stock owner says Elon Musk should step down as the CEO. This story just came out because some of these other guys they're like, dude, what are you doing? We believe in Tesla with you running it.
Right.
Indonesian billionaire Kugan Leo, the third largest individual shareholder of Tesla, accuses Musk of focusing too heavily on Twitter. Elon abandoned Tesla, and Tesla has no working CEO. Tesla needs and deserves to have a fully working CEO, full-time working CEO. Leo went on to suggest that the Tesla board of directors was obligated to look for replacement. The billionaire suggested that Musk be given the opportunity to find and name his successor with the independent supervision of the board. He added, Elon was the proud father. Tesla has grown up an executioner. Tim Cook-like is needed, not Elon.
Yes. Now, and what's happened is the market cap of Tesla was probably at its peak $1.1 trillion. And that made him the richest man in the world because he was the biggest shareholder of it. Today, I think the market cap is maybe closer to $500 billion, so it's lost about half its value. Why? Well, one thing is that he sold a number of his shares in order to buy Twitter. So whenever you sell shares, it depresses the price. And now people think that he's not focused on it, and therefore he's not the genius behind Tesla. And a lot of people are selling. So it's lost. He's lost half of the value of the company, and that's why some of the shareholders aren't happy.
So you think the idea of bringing in Tim Cook is a good idea, like what he's suggesting?
Well, I think somebody needs to be running the company. Whether Elon Musk is willing to give up running the company, I don't know. I'm not involved in it, but I'd say that somebody should be running the company, and somebody should be running SpaceX too. It's hard to run one company once at a time.
How do you do that?
How do you run three companies at once?
Billion-dollar companies simultaneously.
Right. Well, he put a lot of his personal fortune into Twitter. He wants to turn it around. He realizes now it's tougher to turn around than he thought. So right now the company's in somewhat disarray. But he's done a really good job of building these companies before. Maybe even with enough time, he can make Twitter turn around. Take some time.
So with all the craziness taking place, I believe future looks bright. If you believe future looks bright, get your latest Future Looks Bright hat of Valuetainment. It says Future Looks Bright here, Future Looks Bright here. We got them in white, we got them in black, we got them in red. Our black on black sold out. These are about to sell out. If you haven't ordered one yet, we had a person in Michigan bought one, then he bought three. Then when those three people weren't in the office, they had to order 58 of them because people wanted the Future Looks Bright hat, especially during times like this, because ain't nobody saying Future Looks Bright. To order your Future Looks Bright hat, click over here. And to watch the entire podcast, click here. Take care, everybody.